Trump's landslide victory last month was, in part, a referendum on the endless lawfare waged by the left. Democrats, they are still not getting that message. Now, New York Attorney General Letitia James says she is not dropping her civil fraud case against Donald Trump. Remember, get Trump. And this is the same case in which they claim that Mar-a-Lago is only worth $18 million. No, that would be worth more than $1 billion, maybe $1.5 billion. Radical Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg now looking into alternatives to dismissal for the conviction in the falsified business documents case, which was the novel legal theory, legal NDA, identified as an NDA, filed as an NDA. It's insane. And meanwhile, in a bombshell report, listen to this. The House task force investigating the Trump assassination attempts is now saying the DHS, the Secret Service, have produced no documents related to the assassination attempt at his golf course in September. That's the one at Trump International. Here with reaction, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, great to have you back. So let me get this straight. How is it possible that we have in Butler, PA, an assassin get within 130 yards of the president, come within a millimeter of assassinating him? How is it possible that we have a guy at Trump International get within 300 yards with a scope and an AK-47? And how is it possible that there's no urgency when you have drones the size of a dining room table flying all over the state of New Jersey and nobody seems to care? Help me out here.
Well, I think the real answer to that, Sean, is that at least as it relates to the Secret Service, they don't want to cooperate. They don't want us to know the facts. They've stonewalled. They've refused to testify. They've refused to turn over documents. And, Sean, here's my conclusion. The head of the Secret Service needs to go. The director, Ron Rowe, he needs to go. I mean, he is not doing his job. He endangered the life of the president with his poor response. And for them to stonewall the American people this many months after not one but two assassination attempts, just like the FBI and the rest are stonewalling us now on these drones over New Jersey, and who knows where else, Sean, that they're not telling us about. It's time for some accountability at these agencies. It's time to clean house.
Okay, and this is the interim Secret Service director after Trump International said the plan worked. If allowing an assassin to get within 300 yards of Donald Trump with an AK-47 and a scope, and you think that plan worked, I don't know, what do you claim that it's a failure? And they didn't sweep a known area, treat area where paparazzi would often hang out. And then the previous Secret Service director claimed it was a slanted roof, a sloped roof. You were there. They tried to kick you out. And when you went there, what did we learn? It was not a sloped roof at all.
Yeah, we had Secret Service whistleblower after whistleblower come forward, Sean, and tell me that they had failed to secure those buildings, which is confirmed in the report tonight, that they didn't do what they should have done, Secret Service, that is, and secure the buildings where the killer was there, or the attempted killer there in Butler. Same thing at the golf course. They knew, Secret Service knew, that there were known vulnerabilities on the golf course. Protocol called for them to sweep the golf course ahead of time. They didn't do it. And Rowe goes out and says it's a big success. I mean, it's a miracle Trump is alive. The guy needs to be replaced. Sean, this is just more evidence, whether we're talking about Secret Service or the FBI, we need to clean house here. It's time to clean out the agencies.
We may need to bring in special forces to reinforce the good agents that do work for the Secret Service. Lastly, really quickly, what do you make of drones the size of dining room tables and nobody has a clue what they are?
Yeah, you can't tell me that we don't know what that is. I just think they're not being honest with us. I think that if we don't know, if our government really has no idea, then they're even more incompetent than I thought. We've got to get to the bottom of this, and they need to level with the American people about what's going on. It's crazy.
Yeah, sounds like a spy balloon incident again to me. Senator, good to see you. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.